Next, we're going to learn how to multiply and divide integers. So again, we're working with the same group of numbers that we were adding and subtracting. And the rules for multiplying and dividing are very, very simple. The only problem is you don't want to get them mixed up with the rules for adding and subtracting integers. I'm going to give you a handy-dandy little chart to help you with that. So let's just read the basic information first. If the two numbers that you're adding, or multiplying or dividing, have the same sign, that is, they're both negative or they're both positive, the result when you multiply them will be positive. If they have opposite signs, if their signs differ, that's not such a good thing. That's a negative thing. So when the two numbers have opposite signs, the answer's going to be negative. So let me show you a nice little chart that's going to help you remember that. I think we have room to put it right here on our note page. So let's see, let's do this. I'm going to make this little chart here, like so. And up in the corner, I'm going to put a times sign and a division sign. Now, if this isn't enough room for you, go ahead and do it on a larger sheet of paper. So right here in the corner, I have multiply and divide. These are the rules for both multiplying and dividing. And we're going to divide this chart up into positive, negative here, and positive, negative here. Boy, I really don't like how cramped this is getting, so I think I am going to go to a separate sheet of paper. It's just too hard to write that small. So on a larger sheet of paper so you can see it better, I'm going to just do the same thing again. I have a chart with room for labels. So up in the top corner again, this is for multiplying and dividing. And then we're going to break this chart into 4 areas with labels on the outside here. Positive, negative, and on the side, positive, negative. Alright, so here's how this works. If I am multiplying a positive number times a positive number, the result is going to be positive. If I'm multiplying a negative number by a negative number, the result is also positive. So that's this first statement here. If the numbers have the same sign, the answer is positive. So positive times positive is positive, but so is a negative times a negative. So when the signs are the same, the answer is positive. But what happens when the signs are different? If I'm multiplying a negative by a positive, that's a bad thing. That's negative. They're opposites, and opposites do not attract in the real world. So it becomes a negative relationship. Alright, and here I'm multiplying a negative by a positive. I'm multiplying a negative by a positive. That is also negative. Alright, let's see how this chart works. Let's do some examples. So let's just do our examples off to the side. Here's example A. If I have negative 3 times negative 4, these two numbers have exactly the same sign. I'm doing a negative times a negative. A negative times a negative will be a positive. So you just multiply the two numbers. 3 times 4 is 12. And the result is positive 12. If I have one of them negative and one of them positive on the other hand, so I have a negative 3, so a negative 3 multiplied by a positive 4. Positive times a negative, they have opposite signs, it's a negative answer. So my answer will be negative 12. Continue on with this pattern. What if I have positive 3 times negative 4. It's a positive 3 times a negative 4. A positive times a negative. The answer is negative. So this will also be negative 12. And of course, you know that positive 3 times positive 4, since they have the same sign, is also positive. So same sign, positive result. Same sign, positive result. Opposite signs, negative result. Opposite signs, negative result. The same is true for division, so let's look at that. Here's our next example. For division, if I have 12 divided by a negative 3, let's go look at our chart. I have a positive 12 and I'm dividing by a negative 3. The result is negative. So my answer will be a negative 4. Let's look at this example. Negative 12 divided by, let's go with positive 3. So now I have a negative divided by a positive. Negative divided by positive is negative. So again, opposite signs, answer's negative. Opposite signs, answer's negative. Let's take a look at this example. Negative 12 divided by negative 3. Both are negatives. So I'm doing a negative divided by a negative. The answer is positive. So same signs, positive answer, just like with the multiplication. And finally, this one you know. 12 divided by 3, positive, same sign, answer is positive. Positive divided by a positive is a positive. So again, the rules are very simple for multiplying and dividing. Just use this chart. If it's confusing, please ask me in class and I'll clarify.